by the name of Lucas, a Chinese American from Detroit, wants to tell the rest of America something about Black Americans. Check it out.
So the reality of the situation is that there's no way that people can be violently removed from their motherland for 400 years, have their language removed from them, stolen from them constantly, and constantly being tricked into participating in a society that exploits your labor, your brilliance, your dignity, your honor, your love, your heart. Man, I'm saying this as like a Chinese American male who was born and raised in Metro Detroit, in Michigan, and have only ever been unconditionally really supported by Black folk, okay? Because Black people make things safe. Black people are compassionate. Black people embody unconditional love, truly. Everybody else has created conditions to fit into society for safety. Black people hold it the down, and we need to recognize this.
So as you heard him say there, he talked about the history of Black people here in America, the exploitation and all the other adverse things that we have gone through and are still going through. He talked about even though we have gone through all that, we are still a very compassionate, loving, and accepting people, and that we have accepted him. And he says everybody should know that Black Americans have held it down, right? And we just have, and we still do hold it down, even though everything else is trying to hold us down, and not in a good way, right? But I love to hear other communities educate their people on the history of Black people. And I just want to really just give it a conversation of what he said. Even though we as Black people in America go through and have gone through the worst of everything you can think of, we still find it in our hearts to be loving unconditionally, as he said, and accepting to everybody else, right? We are a welcoming people. Y'all know we always inviting people to the cookout and all kind of stuff. They do a dance. When I say they, I mean people from other communities. They do a dance, and we're like, oh, they could come to the cookout, and we just wrap our arms around them, whatever, right? But he's right. We do that. It's like we don't really have a lot of hateful bones in our body. I'm not saying there's not some of us that do some hateful things, but normally as a people, Black Americans, we are very loving and accepting people. We accept everybody else, even though they don't accept us. And that's kind of because we've been conditioned, right? And in the past, we have not gate kept a lot of things. We just, in fact, we've been very accepting. And so I want to piggyback on what he said. Well, for one, thank you for educating your people. We really need y'all to do that because that makes our job easier as we are fighting for reparations and the things that are owed to us as Black Americans. Another thing I want to say to is our people. Great. You're accepting of everybody else, but you make sure that you extend that acceptance to your own people, because there's some of us that will cut our people off quick, right? Oh, I'm cutting them off. And I'm not saying some of us don't need to be cut off for some of the things that we're doing. However, those folks that have a history of doing our people real funky and ill, we're so forgiving. Oh gosh, let's just move past it. But let somebody step on your tennis shoe and you ain't gonna try to move past that. They ain't getting an invite to the cookout or none of that other stuff, right? So while we are being unconditionally loving to everybody else's community, you make sure you extend that love to your own people too. So anyway, y'all tell me what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube.